Hello guys, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all to our third episode on our CSS3 tutorial for beginners. In this video, we'll be taking a look at CSS3 colors and backgrounds. There are certain important things that go behind the making of any pretty or gorgeous website on the internet, and one of these is color. Anytime a visitor visits a website and falls in love with a website, mostly it's always because of the nature of the color or the color scheme the developer behind the creation of the website used. We can just say colors actually bring life to our website, or they are like call to actions when it comes to the interface of every website. Okay, this tutorial is going to be more of practicals. So quickly, let's jump into our code editor, Visual Studio Code. In our HTML crash course, I took you guys through how to install and configure Visual Studio Code for our web development. So I've created a file as other than HTML, and I've also created another file as style.css. So quickly, let's have our boilerplate of HTML code. I think we can say CSS3 colors and background as our title. Okay, so now let's link our HTML document to our external style sheet, so which is style.css, and our type is text stroke CSS. Okay, so colors, actually we can use, first of all we are going to take a look at color names. So let me save this. In VS Code there is a plugin, or let's say an extension in VS Code called LiveServer. With LiveServer, actually when you install it, you can actually open your file directly from your code editor to your browser. And anytime, the importance of it is anytime you make a change in your code and you save, it automatically refresh. You don't need to randomly or manually go to your browser and refresh anytime you save. So we're going to be using it. So I've already installed it. If you have Visual Studio Code set up but you haven't installed, you can come to the extension tab here, then install it. You can search for an extension, which you just type for LiveServer. Just type for LiveServer. It is here, then you just install it. I've already installed it, so let's move on. Okay, so let me open it with LiveServer. So you just right click, then you say open with LiveServer. So it has started. Okay, so let me toggle it here. Okay, so earlier on I said we can have our color names such as red. With CSS3 we can use red, we can use green, blue, all those normal color names we have available for us to specify or to denote colors on our web pages. So for instance, let's say by default the browser color is white, plain white. Let's say that we want to change it to a different color. For instance, let's just say black. So this is how you do. Let's just come here, then with this is our body tag. So we'll select it, then we'll open our braces, then we just say background color. Okay, so you can just type it that way, background color. You bring your colon, then you say black. Let's save and see what happens. Our color is changed to black. Actually, with VS Code, one thing I like about VS Code, if you are lazy like me, you can just use a shortcut. You just say BC. You see, we have background color, we have background image, background position and stuff. So if you need a background color, you just press tap on your drop down arrow, then it comes to background color, then you tap on it. So let's take a want to change it to red. So you can see there are so many colors available for us. There are about 126, so many here. So let's say we want blue, we save, and we have blue here. Let's say we have red, we want red, we save, we have red. Let's say we want green, we save, we have green. But if you want yellow, we save, we get yellow. Let's say we want indigo, we say we have indigo. Brown. Yes, so basically there are tons and tons of them out there which you can just use by specifying the color names. Okay, a quick recap. Let's take this. What if you don't want to use the color names? Are there other ways you can represent colors on your web page? Yes, 100% yes. There are other ways you can, with CSS, you can represent your color names, your colors on your web pages. Okay, one of them is Rgb Colors. Rgb actually is an acronym which stands for red, green, blue. Rgb is a function. You have, well, this is actually the syntax, which you say Rgb, then you open your parenthesis, that's your function. Then whatever goes in here is your parameters. So what the motive behind Rgb is for you to just show the intensity, or for us web designers to show the intensity or the amount of either red, green, blue color we want on our web page, or to be applied on our elements. So any number that goes in here is red. The browser interprets that as red. Any number that goes here, the browser interprets that as green, and whatever goes here, the browser will interpret it as blue. And it ranges from 0 to 255, and not more than 255. Any number that is above 255 wouldn't be interpreted as an Rgb color. So it ranges from 0 to 255. So take note of that. So let's get back here. So let's take it that we want to change our background color to black, but we don't want to use the color names as black. So let's just say, so we say Rgb, or Rgb function. You see, with VS Code, immediately I did that, see what happens. It says red, green, blue. So let's take it that you want black. You want to change our default background color, which is why you want to change it to black. So what we do is, with earlier on said, it ranges from, the colors ranges from what, 0 to 255. So 0 is actually the starting point, which is black. So if you want black, means that all your colors have to be what? Black. Your red, green, blue have to all be black. So you just say red. You just say 0. Then you say 0 again. Then the blue, you say 0 again. You see, with VS Code, when you say that, you can even see a small rectangle here which is black, and when you hover over it, see what happens. You can choose a tons of what colors here, a lot of colors. This is why I highly recommend VS Code. So let's just leave it up. Let's save and see. You see, so alternatively, instead of also doing just background color as black, you could also choose to do this. And this is always the recommended way than the color names. Rgb colors are actually mostly used by web designers, and also the other type of color we're looking at, or ways of what specifying colors on our web pages. So okay, let's say we want our background color to be red. What we have to do with our first digits will be 255, which is the highest, then the rest 0. So see what that means, that we want more of red on our web page. Let's save and see. You see it's red. So let's change our green to, let's just say, maybe 150. So now what actually this does is it mixed the red, it makes a higher amount of red and a lower amount of green to red, and this is the color it has given us. Let's see. So if you mix a high amount of what red, then some smaller amount of green, this is what you get. What if you want to mix another small amount or smaller amount of blue? So let's just say that one to 150. Let's say this is the color we'll get. So what if we want, let's change this to 0. So let's say we want pure blue. So what we have to do is we change this to 255, then we change it to 0. So this will be what? Pure green, because we have it's RGB, red, green and blue, so that'll be pure green. If you want pure blue too, what we do is we change it to 0, then here will be 255, then let's say then we get pure blue. So that's basically how to represent RGB colors on our web pages. There's also another way, which is what? Hex Values. Hex, whose short is, it stands for hexadecimal, and is by far the most commonly used method of defining colors or color on a web page. Hex actually represents colors using a 6-digit code. Guys, take note, a 6-digit code which is preceded by a hashed character. This is the syntax. You have hashtag RR green, A GG the BB. RR means red, GG means green, then BB means blue, just similar to our RGB. And here's what it says: the kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it ranges. The hexadecimal ranges from 000 to FF. Unlike the other one that is 000 to 255, this one is 00 to FF. So let's take a practical look at something here. So let's take away this, the RGB. They said it's preceded with a hashtag sign. So bring a hashtag. So the first one is red, which is FF. So if you want a pure red on our web page, so the rest will be 00. So the next two zeros will be the green will be 00, then blue 00. See what happens? We get red. So what if we want what? Pure green. So we change that to the FF. Then instead of this red FF, we change that to 00. Then let's save. Then we get pure green. Now what if you want pure blue? You change that to FF, then here 00. Then let's save. Then we get our pure blue. Okay, so with the hex values, this is what it does, and most developers also love using it. It's also cool. You can use that on your web pages, or you can use that to denote colors on your web pages. Okay, let's take away this. Let's save. Let's come back. Okay, but before that, let's just use black as our default. Let's start doing certain stuffs. So let's save. Okay, so right now let's take a let's have first heading and just say I love web development. Okay, you see something? When I say, we didn't see anything here, but it's there. You see, I love web development, but it's there. by default VS Code, what by default the browser actually is, so that's also the browser default way of styling, and it's by default is black. So but what if let's comment that out and see. Let's save. You see there. So it's because, so by default it's going to be black, and we were also having a black background, so that's why it's invisible. So let's comment that out. Let's save again. It has disappeared. So if you want it, so what we have to do is, let's just say, we just say color. Let's bring our hexadecimal word code. If you want pure white, you just say F pure white, then you save. You can see it here. Now when you bring color, when you specify your color inside your body tag, that clearly shows that everything on your web page will be colored with what? White. That's what you are trying to say. But if you know you'll be having multiple colors, for instance, let's take it that we have a paragraph which we say coding is now the trend. Let's save that. You see, it's also white. It's white. But let's take it that you intend changing this paragraph to red. So you say P, then you just say color, you say red. Okay, it has changed to red, but your code isn't meaningful, because right now with your color here, you are trying to say that everything on the web page should have a white color, but then you come here and you say color your paragraph to have a red color. So what is now the essence of this line of code? It doesn't make sense. So let's take that off and make it this way. So okay, actually we can just leave. We shouldn't style the color there. We have to select it, H1. So say H1, then our color is, yeah, we can just say what, FFF, and it's back on track. Let's try and center align it. Text align center. Okay, so we are moving gradually. So right now, or briefly, we are done with, or in a nutshell, we are done with colors. There are more to that you guys can also explore by yourselves. So we'll be taking a look at what backgrounds. Now with a background also have quite a number of properties we'll be taking a look at. First off, sometimes when you visit website, you see background, you see the background image of the website. Sometimes you see how the background image is positioned somehow, and a lot of stuff goes in there. So now let's say we will be taking a look at some of these stuffs, such as we'll be taking a look at I think we've already taken a look at the background color already, but let me just put it here. I think let me comment that. This is the reason why comments are very good. With comments you can read your codes very well. So we say background color. We'll be taking a look at background color, which we've done with that already, and we're taking a look at background image, how to output a background image on our web page. We'll also be taking a look at background repeats. I'll be explaining them individually. So we'll look at background position, then we'll also be taking a look at background background attachment. Okay, background color is already covered. Now let's look at background image. Now in my folder I've just included a pic which I had from the internet. I rename as globe.png. That's just it. This is the picture of a nice looking globe. Okay, so let's take it that we want to what? Let me comment out this code. Let me leave the background. Let me comment out this. Okay, so let's take it that we want to what? Output this background image, the globe. We want to output this. We want to display the globe on our web page. So what we have to do is here. Sorry guys. Oh, I'm coming. It's actually misbehaving too much. Okay, so you just say background. When you just type background, VS Code already will just give you all the alternatives you want. Your background attachment, background color, background image, background position, background repeat, background size, background color, it's a lot, background position and background attachment. But in our case, we only need background image. So we select background image. Then you say URL, which you call URL as what? Our method. Then you bring your code either single or double, but I prefer double. Then inside the double quote, you specify where the path to your image or your background image. For this one is inside the root directory. I've not kept it in any folder. Mostly you have to separate your images from your other folders. You have a CSS folder where you put your CSS files. You have your JS or JavaScript folder where you store your JavaScript files. Then you have your images or img folder where you store your images. But here I've not kept in any folder, just in the root directory. So I'll just type, which is globe dot png. That's the name of my image. Okay, let's save. Wow. Guys, see what happened? This is bad, isn't it? It's bad. The image has repeated across. Just one image, but see. Okay, we are developers, and basically we are problem solvers. We need to solve that. How do we solve that? With CSS3, we have what? Our background. This has been repeated, so we have to put an end to the repetition by so doing saying repetition no. We are saying a repetition no. We are not going to. We don't want our image to be repeated. We just want it once, as the way it is. So what we just say is, with a single line of code, we will solve that problem. Say background repeat. See background repeat. Then you say no repeat. Now let's save and see. Now problem is solved. It's solved. It isn't there anymore. It's gone. We can see that the other ones are gone. It's just one image, just it repeated multiple times. They are all gone. Wow. Okay. So let me comment out this. I don't need this text too. Okay. Yeah. So they are gone. So that's just how to use the background repeat. Okay. Now background position. We could see now this is by default is positioned at the top left corner here. What if you want to move it here? With the background position, you can actually do that. Just say background position. Let's just say top right. You see it has moved. First it was here, but we've moved it to top right here. So that's just basically how to use the background position. Now we also have background attachment. What with the background attachment, you can specify or denote that your background image shouldn't scroll, or when you are scrolling your content on your page, the background image shouldn't scroll, it should stay fixed. You can also say no, it shouldn't stay fixed, it should scroll alongside with the content. So let's say let's just say P. Let's have some dummy data here. Okay, so let's copy. Let's first of all let's preview though. Okay, it's there. What happened is it's there. So so then let's copy that, paste that a couple of times. Copy. Let's save. You see, one more. Guys, see what happened. If you are scrolling, see our image is also scrolling. We don't want that. What we want is, we want when we are scrolling, the image should stay there's a fixed. It shouldn't move alongside with the content. So this is what we do. We just come here and there's a background attachment. Alex, enough of the laziness. Let's type background attachments. You see the scroll is fixed, so let's just say fixed. Let's save it. Now let's scroll and see. It's fixed. Our background image is fixed by our content. We can now see our content is moving by our background image. That's not what we want. Let's comment out the code and see. Let's save. It's moving. It's fixed. So basically that's how to use it. Now with all this set, with this background color, background image, background repeat, no repeat, background position, top right, background attachment, we can, this is a redundant code. Like we're having this multiple in all this, in this multiple lines can be done. This same task can be done in one single line. And yes, that's what as a good developer you should do. You shouldn't make your codes very long, or in multiple lines, whereby you can just put it in one line. Though in certain occasions putting them in a single line make the code not to be readable, but it's worth it putting it in one line if only it's not a long code. So all this basically can be kept in one line. All we have to just do is we'll say background. Sorry, you have to put it in that time. We just say background. Now we come to a background, not background anything, not background hyphen image or background hyphen position or background hyphen color. It's only background. Now we'll say first we need our color, so we say hashtag ff. We need our image, so we say URL, which is globe.png, and what repeat, we say no repeat. Then position, top right, then attachment, fixed. Okay, so now let's just okay, the color is black, it is not white, it's actually the text color. So let's uncomment this, or let's comment that. Let's save and see what happens. Guys, I hope you can see what happens. Let's just change our text color to white. See what happens. Wow, it's fixed, it's not repeated too. Our image too is also there. So this is what we just want. So basically that's some of the ways to go about some of these things. Background attachment, background position, background repeat, background image, background color. Yeah, this video will be short, and in our next episode, our subsequent episodes, guys, we'll be doing a lot of stuffs. I didn't introduce margins, borders, and all those fancy stuffs here because I want to do that in a separate video so that you have a full understanding of them very well, how they work under the hood. With this, we are still just in the prelims of our CSS. We'll be delving deep into the CSS tree in our subsequent videos. I'll be dropping, and in our subsequent videos I'll be talking about the next video actually coming up. We'll be talking about margins, paddings, and a lot of stuff, which after that we'll be doing something like this. Just a small portfolio, and after that we'll be going to more advanced stuffs. Actually, I intended doing this in this particular tutorial, but I realized that some of the things that I did here actually are not covered. I've not taught you guys those things, which you will find a problem to understand. So that's why I just left them. Because this border, you can see that here is red, here is yellow, here is red, and you can even see how these ones are displayed, which I use Flexbox, and it's even kind of advanced. And so basically, guys, just stay tuned and be connected. Please subscribe and like this video if actually you like it. Be sincere. If you don't go around, you can just go ahead and give it a dislike, but I highly recommend you subscribe to my channel, and more videos are coming through. I'll be dropping more and more series of videos on web development, CSS, and the like. We are actually on our journey towards becoming full stack web developers, and these are the building blocks. So I urge you all to take this seriously, very, very seriously, wholeheartedly, and you will thank me later. Okay, I'm out.